Have you ever felt like you're running on empty, wondering where your next breakthrough will come from? Let me share a remarkable story that could transform your perspective on divine provision. Picture this: a severe drought has gripped the land. The streams are drying up, crops are failing, and hope seems distant. In this desperate situation, we meet a man named Elijah who's about to experience something extraordinary. God directs Elijah to a place called Cherith Brook, or Cherith Raven, promising that ravens, yes, actual birds, would bring him food. Now, ravens are typically scavengers, not delivery birds. Yet every morning and evening, these unlikely couriers brought bread and meat to Elijah while the brook provided water. This wasn't just survival, it was supernatural provision in the most unexpected way. But the story doesn't end there. When the brook finally dries up, God sends Elijah to Zarephath, to a widow who's down to her last meal. Imagine approaching someone who's preparing their final supper and asking them to share it with you. That's exactly what Elijah did. The widow, despite her dire circumstances, chooses to trust and share her last portions. What happens next defies natural laws. That small jar of flour and jug of oil never run dry. Day after day, there's always enough for one more meal. It's a powerful reminder that when God directs your path, resources can multiply beyond logical explanation. The story takes an even more dramatic turn when the widow's son falls ill and stops breathing. Elijah, moved by her plight, prays fervently, and the boy's life is restored. This miracle showcases that God's provision isn't just about material needs. It extends to every aspect of our lives: soul, health, career, financial, business, family, and children. No part is not touched by His amazing grace. This ancient narrative carries a timeless truth. When we follow divine direction, provision follows often in ways we least expect. Sometimes it comes through unusual sources like ravens. Imagine a raven obeying diving directive every morning and evening. God can go any length to provide to His chosen. Other times it appears in the midst of sharing our last resources, like the widow's flour and oil, which never ended simply by her obedience. Think about your own life. Are you facing situations that seem impossible? Are your resources running low? Remember, the same God who directed Elijah's path is still in the business of providing today. The key isn't in the size of your resources, but in your willingness to follow divine direction. When God leads, you'll never truly lack. Your provision might not come packaged as you expect, it rarely does. But it will come, often in ways that transform not just your circumstances, but your entire perspective on what's possible when you trust divine guidance. The question isn't whether God can provide. This story proves He can and will. The real question is, are you ready to follow where He leads, even when the path seems uncertain? Because when God directs, provision is not just a possibility, it's a promise. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share.